Hello, my name's Harsha and welcome to my blog. Today we're going to discuss something called the creation process, and to keep it real, this is not so much a, this is how you do it type video. It's really a discussion, and I want to throw some questions out there, and I'd love to hear your feedback. I'm going to share some experiences I've been through, and it's about the creation process. To me, how do I define the creation process? So what's involved in creation? So how do you take a idea, what does it take to take an idea and manifest it so it's useful in our reality, on this earth, so people can use it. How do you make it useful? What do I mean by making it useful? Can people make use of the idea that you've got? So then we could ask the question, we go ahead and we create this wonderful thing that we've got in our minds that we feel is going to add value to people's lives. But will they accept it? Will they take it on board? You may put in your life savings into creating this, and is it going to be something that they're going to use, whether it's useful or not? Now that's another question. These are tough questions to ask. Will it make money? Will the idea that you put out there make money? And I'd love to hear some of the answers that you have for this. But I'd say, initially, some of the things I found when creating, whether it be a business or whether it be taking an idea and putting it out there, is to really get clear in what you're trying to do. I've ventured on doing multiple things at once, and that didn't quite work out because you're scattering your energy across different ideas. And what I found is, I make progress on every one of them, but it's not enough to get it to a stage where it's actually doing something. You feel that momentum, that snowball effect, where it's actually rolling. One of the teachers, one of my teachers that I had, which I did several courses with, T. Harveka, he mentioned, it takes a lot to get that rocket off the ground. And at one stage in his life, he was trying to do multiple things, and none of them worked out because there's so many different things, so much energy that's required to lift that rocket off the ground. So that's one of the things I wanted to discuss. The other thing is, how do you define it? How do you define this idea and put it down so it gains some momentum? Is another thing that you may consider doing. One of the diagrams I keep going back to year after year is from a course that I did with Tony Robbins, and it was called Business Mastery. I think he's got two versions of this course, Business Mastery and the advanced version. So this was the basic, the four-day course that was in Fiji, and there's a thing called the 10 stages of the life cycle of a business. Now, you could possibly apply this to a number of different things, whether it be a business or you're creating a product or some kind of invention. But in this, he's got this, and if you run a search on the web, you may find a copy of it somewhere. Obviously, it's proprietary material, so you'd need to either do the course or find a friend who's done the course and let them have a look at it. So again, it's called the 10 stages of the life cycle of a business. And there's a number of stages, from birth to infancy, to the toddler stage when it's, walking around, a teenager, the young adult, and then right up the top, there's this thing called a zone of maximization or maturity. That's when an adult, the young adult grows to its full potential and blossoms and is thriving. Then you go down, the curve kind of goes down to the midlife evaluation, and then it starts to age. Then there's the institutionalization, and then as on this plane, there's always a death. There's the death followed by, I believe, there's a rebirth. And there's, even in a business, it goes through a cycle, and new businesses are formed that innovate and replace the old ones that are outdated or aren't performing as well. So I find this diagram quite interesting because it it uses the human life cycle to, it starts with birth, infancy, toddler, teenager, young adult, and then, midlife evaluation and aging. You become older, and then follows through to institutionalization and death. It's interesting that we compare it to ourselves, our being on this plane. Some examples here, he goes into when you're around the toddler, I think cash flow is a big issue for businesses, and you're struggling to kind of meet the bills and then bring in income at the same time, as well as create the business. So what I wanted to discuss was really about the creation process. What you think, what are your ideas? I find, it can be full of pain. It can, for some, it can be something that's joyful. Sometimes that pain actually motivates you to create some of your greatest creations. Some of the best books have come out in the times of war. Some of the best the artists that have been around have been in times of adversity. So it's interesting how the human condition thrives in times of that are the hardest. So it might be worthwhile putting yourself under a little bit of pressure, if you can, to make things happen. If you want to create something and you're not finding you're creating it. So there's also one thing I wanted to mention was there's a profiling by Roger Hamilton. It's called I believe it's called Wealth Dynamics, and you can do this profile test where you can figure out what type of energy you've got, whether you're a creator, you're a supporter, whether you're the different types of energies that can create, that can help the creator. If you are a creator and you're struggling, and there's the supporter, there's the accumulator. So when all these energies come together, it helps you to have a business that kind of just flows. It happens. There's no struggle. It just happens automatically. People know what to do. So yeah, there you go. My sharing of the process of creation. Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching this video. This is not so much structured, these videos. There are other videos that I do that are more how-to-dos, but this one's more around the unseen, the intangible, the mystical type material that I love to get involved in. So take away from it what you will, share your experiences, share your comments, and I'll catch you on the next blog.